No time, the partygoers start donating to the cause, and the electricity comes with a girl named Becky and starts kissing her. During the act, Becky notices lump. He realizes that something is wrong. In the next scene, hearing this, Jonah is shocked and is left speechless. He also mentions that the treatment is risk-free, but for it to be successful, activities. The answer is yes, but the doctor reveals that he will be later. Jonah collects his semen in a jar, hoping that he can use it after a few years. Cancer isn't too serious. Gus and Stevie also decide to cancel. Quickly departs. There, a nurse mentions to him that despite his semen being, asks the nurse if there are other ways to have babies. After a bit of staring, while in a drunken state, he starts asking random girls if they would like to. A worried Katie starts asking him several questions, but Jonah can't take his mind to find a partner. He even contacts his ex-girlfriend Ava, who feels that he wants to have babies. Since Ava does not know about his condition, the doctor mentions that he can line up a surgery appointment in 3 days, but Jonah takes the nearest available slot, as cancer spreads fast. However, Jonah decides to approach Becky, who is notorious for sleeping with him. Jonah then reveals the entire situation to Becky and says that he with him. Once again, Jonah returns home dejected. Now, as all the girls back out when they find that he wants to have babies with them, to Stevie and in front of her boyfriend, mentions that he cannot adopt children. Stevie tries to ignore it, but her boyfriend suggests she go out and or even lesbians if he really wants to have babies. She also mentions that he has no other options. He agrees. With this, Stevie says 2 women start bombarding Jonah with questions. They ask him what he will do after. Jonah's ahead of his time. He even mentions some insensitive things. Sadly, the next day, Stevie receives a call from Allison, who mentions that his life is unfair. However, Stevie calms him down. She is a middle-aged woman who is not looking to get married, but just wants to have an instructed by Stevie, and instantly get attracted. Soon, they get mad, and that Jonah is a wonderful guy, but she can't go through with the procedures. The latter mentions that he couldn't harden his manhood because of the excessive plan, and then storms inside her room. Desperate, Jonah follows. Stevie is taken aback, and she tells Jonah that it is a ridiculous idea to convince a lady to have kids with him. This makes Stevie freeze for as usual. Jonah gets drunk. He then gathers some courage and sends a voice. There, she reveals that she will accept his proposal, but only if he accepts. The whole arrangement will be a secret, while another one mentions that the house, and she wants to have freedom for the rest of her life. After a while, to make their plan work. In the next scene, the duo heads to the department store. Mentions that she only has 4 days to conceive before her menstrual cycle kicks in. Head back to the store. Sadly, the store is closed, and they are forced world's longest con to get laid. At first, Stevie resists in bed and awkwardly starts the process. But soon, every day, Gus starts doubting them, but the two convince him that nothing is happening. She heads to the bathroom to inspect for good news, but finds out that her tells Jonah and tells him to meet up in the parking lot. Wasting no time, Jonah gets into a small argument, causing Stevie to storm out of the place, when Jonah gets to enjoy the party to the fullest before he gets operated on the next day. Turns out that Gus revealed everything about Jonah's condition to her, mentions that despite them being apart for the last 6 months, he is still a big. However, before Jonah can seal the deal, he withdraws his manhood. Jonah replies that it just didn't feel right, as he is in love with someone. Finds Jonah coming out of the room along with Ava. This devastates himself, compelling Stevie to stop. Following this, Jonah confesses away, while Jonah stands alone, heartbroken. In the next scene, immediately deduces that her brother is in love with Stevie, and clears the room for that he is content with being a cool uncle rather than a father. She gets emotional and kisses Jonah right in front of Gus as to what just happened. Subscribe for more videos like this. Turn on notifications.